afraid to do it. And my thing is, why shouldn't you feel like that? Why shouldn't you have that ability to feel like you're on top of the world again? Like you've gotten that renewed sense of youngness where you think the world's perfect and beautiful and nothing can go wrong. And everybody believes in you. If you can get that back in something, why not do it? And remember that you did this. You put your foot down. You made a difference. You're happy. People are happy that you're happy. And it's like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I need to believe in myself. I need to believe in others. And I just need to have a really good time. And you can't be afraid to take those risks in life, because once you stop taking risks, it's sort of like, am I really living anymore? Or am I just floating by? And it sort of sucks when you're just floating by and you're watching everybody else, whether or not they're happy, whether or not they're alone, whether you're the friend that's always single and all your friends are off on these, or telling you about these amazing dates with these amazing guys they had, and you're like, oh, that's cool, that's interesting, and it's like, but you're really like, ugh, you stop talking about this, you know I'm single, and you're just rubbing it in my face, you have this amazing guy, and then I don't have one. Or when you're always the single one, and all your friends are coming to you for advice on their significant others, and you're like, how am I supposed to help you? You're always saying, and I'm always single, so how am I supposed to help you if I'm single all the time? And it's like, ugh. But I believe that that's because you're an objective third party. You're on the outside of things, and you see it differently than he or she will. So consider it an honor that they're coming to you. They're not trying to get advice out of somebody else they don't trust. They trust you enough to ask your advice on this situation. They're like, well, you're my trusted friend, I trust you, so can you help me? And like I'm always saying, you don't always have to say yes. You don't always have to say no. You don't. You could always just be like, well, I have this issue going on in my life. Can we talk about this another time? Or if I help you, can you give me some advice? Just make it so then it's easily both of you guys are getting the help you guys need. And it's not just the one friend with the issue all the time, but it's both you guys. You both are getting that help you need and that help you want. And nobody's getting left out, nobody's getting left behind. It's that amazing feeling you get when you're like, oh, I was able to help this person or this person, and the same feeling they get, that they're not always bringing their problems to you and burdening you, but it's like, you help me, I help you, we're both happy, we're both going to be successful, and they get the sense of accomplishment too because they helped you. You get the sense of accomplishment because you helped them, and in the end, everybody wins. They win because they've gotten the help they've needed. You won because you've gotten the help you needed, but you also win because you both have gotten to help somebody else. So you get the sense of accomplishment that your friendship means something, that you can go to them and they can come to you for advice, and it's just like, wow. You can both come to each other, and either one doesn't really mind that we're coming to this person for help. This person will help us, and it's like, you both that feeling. It makes you both stronger. It makes you both happier. And in the end, isn't that what you both want? Not only for yourself, but for your friends too. I know that I don't only just want my friends to have me happy, but I want them to be happy. I want them to have all those accomplishments in life that they want. I know they want together when one of us is annoying the other one. And it just becomes a battle. Who's really being a friend and who's just being an ignorant person? But seriously, people, it's just, you just have to be able to know what you want and go after it. No hands down. Not afraid to go, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have this. Because as long as you are afraid, you're not gonna have it. Sorry. As long as you're afraid that you're not gonna have it, you're not, because you're not gonna go after it. So always remember to go after what you want. Do not afraid to go after it. Do not afraid to be you. Do not afraid to follow your dreams. Because like that blog post said, if you wanted to be a musician or an artist, or you think your band's going to go far, then do everything in your power. Don't listen to somebody else. Now, they may want what's best for you economically, but they don't know what is going to make give you that sense of accomplishment. I'm not saying don't take their advice. I'm just saying keep their advice in mind, because they are the ones that are trying to make sure that in 20 years, if your band doesn't work out, you have something to follow. If your dream of becoming a musician or becoming a famous painter doesn't work out, they're trying to set up something so then you can fall back on it. You may think that you hate it, and it may be falling into something you love. And it's they want what's best for you, but not exactly the way you want what's best for you. And you gotta remember that they're gonna see things from a different point of view. It could be that they had the same dream as you, and their dream didn't make it, so they want to make sure that you have both your dreams. That you have the dream of being a success, not only in music, but a success in life. And that's always a good thing. To be a success in your dream, but also to be a success in the real world. Because we all know that sometimes dreams and the real dreams not make money in the real world. And that's never a good thing. That's never a good thing, because of the fact that you want your dreams to be real and successful, and you want them to make you rich, but sometimes they don't. And it always is nice to have that backup plan in case your dreams don't work out. I'm not saying that they're not going to. I'm like, take it into consideration that they want what's best for you in the long run. And keep that in mind. Your parents may not always approve of your dreams, but they want what's best for you, so they're going to support you, but they're going to keep that little hinder hope, I think, of if you don't become a rock star. At least they're like, well, at least they set you up to become something, or they gave you the tools to become something. I mean, you may not become I'm saying musicians because I know some of my friends wanted to be musicians, and if they got into management, they could not be on stage, but they could be backstage, or they could learn. I actually have this one friend that I know, and he's in his own band, but he's taking lighting in that for if he can't make it on stage, at least he has something off stage and he's still in it. I mean, you can do that. And that works. Just like some people have different techniques to do things. And some people just are like, well, I don't understand why people do it this way, because they know they're going to set to fail. And it's never your say whether or not they do something. So it's just, you want to succeed in your dream, but you also want to keep that inkling of reality. I mean, some people can turn their dreams into reality, but some people can't. So my thing is, if you can't turn your dream into a reality, choose something close to your dream in case your dream fails. I'm not saying you should think like this, but I'm just saying you should have that backup plan just in case, because you never know. I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to become a teacher. I ended up in the Child's and Youth Worker program, which didn't work out, so now I'm going to try the EA program. But as I grew up, I realized that within the last 6-7 years that I love to write. And it's like, well, I can't follow this, but do I want to stay with my original dream of becoming a teacher and helping kids? Or do I want to go into writing and inspire? I mean, some of my greatest things as a youth was reading, and some of those, like, I used to read Anna Green Gables, and she was a teacher, and it's like, do I want to teach or do I want to write? But it's sort of confusing because I don't really know what I want. I want a little bit of both, I guess. I want to be able to teach, but I want to be able to write. And I have to choose for September which one I want to go into first, because I could go into both if I really wanted to. I have that option available to me of choosing both options, so I can do that. I'm one of those lucky people that have the ability to do that. And this powder brush is not working for a blush brush, so I'm just trying to get ready for my day. And you guys know, some of you guys probably know what it's like when you have this amazing plan and it's not going right. That's better. I just like the little pop to my cheeks. Did I wake up? But I guess this is the end, as I put my final project down in my little makeup box that sits next to my desk. And so that's bringing us to an end of another lovely rant video, which did start off with a really bad rant this morning, which I apologize to my buddy who's listening, and he knows who he is. I'm sorry, you just annoyed me this morning. But as I clean my hands for the ending of this video, I'm going to say one thing. Say what I always say. Stay positive, stay confident, and most of all, never, ever, for anyone, for any reason, stop being you. Bye, guys.